We're going to talk feet today. So feet are a really important aspect when it comes to posture. When our feet are all gnarled up, when our feet are walking around in casts all day, also known as your shoes, we start to take away the natural properties of our feet. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is our feet are meant to expand and contract and work on uneven surfaces where the muscles are stimulated and the tissues are expanding and contracting and doing what they're supposed to be doing. But just like a body part in a cast, those muscles atrophy. They get lazy, they stop getting used, the lacking blood flow, and what does a surgeon want more for a client? They want nothing more than to get the cast off, get the muscle area rehabbed so they can get back to doing what they need to so that body part doesn't lack anything more than it already is. But yet our feet are doing that all the time. I see kids as little as a month old with these cute old little Nikes on, but their feet need to expand and breathe. So we're gonna rehab the feet for better posture. Since our feet are the bottom of our house, the bottom of our body, we wanna make sure that we start there. I'm gonna be using an AccuBall, and if you don't have one, grab a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball, grab anything that you have, more circularly preferably, so you can start out rolling the bottoms of the feet. So we wanna roll out the bottoms of the feet with as much pressure as you can handle. Now, if you prefer to sit when you're doing this, by all means, so do not let either size or weight or any type of disability or challenges inhibit you from doing this. I'm gonna roll under my toes. Nothing is off limits here. The inner arch of my foot, if you follow reflexology, each part of the foot is connected to a part of the body. So if you're feeling certain areas that are more tender or kind of like gravelly, you might want to look into what that area means. And so just give that foot some love. And then once you've given that foot some love, we're going to work 3 specific areas. And the first area is the heel or the pelvis, and it's called a heel grind, or I call it a heel grind. Ball of the foot on the mat, heel on top of the ball. It's a lot of ball. And you're just going to grind the heel as fast as you can and with as much pressure as you can. Now, I know that this might feel a little sensitive, but again, this isn't pain, this is discomfort. This is sensation, new sensation. So see if you can kind of change the language in your brain to what you're feeling. And you might need to move the ball of the foot because, well, this ball is circular, so it might move a little bit more than you'd like. So grind, 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 really get that heel going. Don't feel shy to get all those necessary body parts, super important. I'm moving across the mat, as you can see. Make sure that you either have socks on or just bare feet. This obviously won't work with a pair of shoes. Once you've done that heel grind sufficiently, we're going to work down the center of the foot, so the plantar tendon. This is often an area of tightness for people. We're going to create 3 points of pressure. So center of the foot from heel to ball, just in front of the heel, I want you to bring pressure down on that to that point and hold. So I'm leaning my body weight onto that. As you can see, you can decide how much weight that you want to have onto it. If this is your first time, you might want to lessen up a little bit. So hold that 3, 2, 1. Now keep the pressure like you're rolling bubbles out from under plastic and roll to the center of the foot, which is usually more tender. Soften the toes, and again, however much pressure you can handle, soften the jaw. Let's hold that and breathe, just nice and calm. And as you're breathing, notice if your mind pays more attention to the tightness, the tenderness, the uncomfortableness, or if you can start to shift your brain towards, oh my gosh, this is so good for my body. And then last one, roll that bubble forward just behind the ball of the foot. Relax your toes, pressure down. You can see I'm kind of bending my knees to bring more weight over onto that ball. If your feet are wonky, expect the rest of your body to be wonky. All right, drop the heel, lean into the ball of the foot. We're gonna wave. So if my heel of the hand was my heel of the foot, I'm gonna keep that planted and wave my hand, just like I would wave my foot. Now this one you might get some clicking and popping. And if you feel like, ooh, that outer edge is a little tender, then feel free to pressure there. But just wave the foot If our feet aren't moving optimally, if they're not expanding and contracting and doing what they need to be doing, those muscles are atrophying, what is that to say about the rest of your body? Everything is connected. It's not like, oh, I'm going to rehab my knee or my foot, or I'm just going to work on my arms. It's an all body. Everything is all body. So when you work your feet, when you create a healthy foundation, the rest of your body is going to benefit. When you neglect your feet, which the majority of us do, even in yoga, we're going to see that struggle on the mat. We're going to see that challenge in our body. Okay, once you've done that, just roll out the whole foot, roll it, roll it, roll it. Think of it like smoothing out frosting on a cake. Okay, once you've done that, here's the fun part. Take a nice deep breath in, and then set the foot down. Oh my gosh. Close your eyes and just notice how your feet feel. So this is my left leg. My left leg just feels dead. It feels heavy. It feels thick. My right leg, it feels puffy. It feels like a cloud. It feels expansive. It feels light. It feels just fluid. Notice that difference. You're walking around with this leg all day. We want to be walking around with this leg. So let's do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so we're going to roll, roll, roll. Out the ball of the foot, out the arch, the heel. Remember, this is just kind of a free-for-all right now. And there is no wrong way to roll. If the ball on the bare foot is too tender, remember, think about how this happened. This just didn't wake up one day and it's like, oh, my feet hurt. So this is an accumulation over time. So if your feet are tender or sensitive, that doesn't mean that you can't do this. It just means that it's going to take a little bit longer, and that's okay. Put socks on. Take it easy. Roll really light. I used to run a senior yoga class, and we just took the ball and just rolled it over our arms, over our legs, and it was amazing the difference that these men and women felt. When I used to work at a nursing home and I taught yoga, chair yoga, exclusively chair yoga, these are people that were chair bound. And it was amazing the benefits of simply doing things like this had for them. And this was like minimalistic to what they were starting with. So please do not let your mind tell you that this is not going to help or that you can't. Okay, once you've given those feet some love, we're going to start with our heel grind. Ball of the foot on the mat, acu ball or your ball under the heel of the foot, and let's grind it out. Now, if you're like me, one foot is a little bit more sensitive or a little bit tighter. This is my challenged leg. And so I'm going to kind of really just press into some of those tight points here. I have a lot more trigger points on this leg than I do the opposite. And this is my hip that is a little bit more squirrely, gives me a little bit more problems than my other one. And so I'm just going to work those areas. You can really feel those kind of crunchy nuggets in there, especially right in the heel. If you have pelvic, hip, tailbone, any type of sensitivity, strain, pain, discomfort, you got to start working on your feet, my friend. Okay, once you've given that heel some love, if you still want to roll the heel, pause me, more power to you. We're going to do those 3 points of pressure down the plantar tendon. So just in front of the heel, pressure down and hold. This is where your breathing comes important. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, visualize moving the air out. Visualize getting your breath out, clearing out all of that tension and tightness in the feet to where your feet are fluid, happy, not so sensitive. You can walk barefoot. You can walk on gravel. Don't tell me no. It's a good therapy to practice. It's just calm breathing. Okay, now to keep that connection, we're going to roll the bubble. Roll it forward towards the center of the foot. You might get some clicking and popping. Now again, pressure down. Breathe calmly. Remember, this is not pain. Pain is putting your hand on a hot stove. Pain is getting your foot rolled over by a car. Pain is breaking your arm. Well, sometimes even pain isn't breaking your arm. My son broke his arm and it didn't hurt. And so this is sensation. And we experience in our bodies a vast variety of sensations. Our mind, however, categorizes the majority of them as pain when we don't like them. It's okay to be uncomfortable. All right, here we go. Last one, roll it forward. Ooh, drop the heel if you need to, but we're at that ball of the foot point just behind it, and we're still pressuring before we wave. Soften the toes. Just think about all the blood flow that's going to come surging towards your feet. All my diabetic friends, people with poor circulation, what have you just been neglecting your feet? All right, here we go. Heel down. Now you can lean back if you need to. Now let's wave. Wave, wave, wave. Try to create a little bit of pressure if your feet can handle it, but start wherever you are. So if this is new for you and you're like, holy bejeebus, I've never focused on my feet before, I don't care if you're a yogi or not, feel free to take it easy, take it light. And if you have a sensitive foot, if you have a foot that gives you more problems or a side of the body that gives you more problems, feel free to focus on that more or go back to that side. Okay, so now we're just going to roll everything out. Smooth out the icing on the cake. I got everything clicking and popping now. Everything's free. I don't know about you, but I can feel the circulation in the ball of my foot. That feels awesome. Your feet might also look a little bit more pink or a little bit more blood flow happy. And then when you're ready, set that foot down. We're going to take that moment of awareness again. Just appreciate our body. We're rushing around all day. Nice job. Try to pay attention to your feet. Give your feet a little bit of love every single day, and you are going to notice a big difference, not only in how your feet feel, but how the rest of your body responds to them. If you expect your feet to keep taking you wherever it is you want to go, you best take care of them today. Great job.